to Ray Ray's Honest Airgun Reviews. In this episode, we've got a very special episode. It's new out onto the market. It got launched at the Airgun show this year in February, and we've been very lucky enough to obviously get us hands on one to review. It's the Daystate Black Wolf. So let's find out if it's really worth the money. So the Black Wolf comes in a very, very nice hard case with Daystate on. I think this is only available in the walnut and the laminate stock version. Those I don't know if it's available with the carbon stock on it, but yeah, very nice stock. I mean, very nice case even. So we can get into it. It is very windy down at Camelots today, guys. By the way, I'll show you the flag in a minute. You get a lovely, obviously padded case for it. The instruction manuals and your warranty cards and everything about MTC, Brocock and Daystate there. You get the gun. This is the walnut version with the cylinder. This one's got the barrel tension on it and the 0 dB silencer. We've got that as well. You get one magazine, which is here, and you get your Filpro, which is there. So we'll get her out and we'll go through the features. A bit about the Black Wolf. This is the most adaptable airgun on the market at the minute. It's got that many different features you can adapt. It blows my mind, to be honest. So we'll talk about this version that we've got here and maybe talk a little bit about the things you can change it to, because there's that many different calibers, that many different things you can do with it. You know, different stocks, there's all sorts. But just to keep it down to obviously the bare minimum, there's 4 calibers. There's 177, which is a test rifle. There's 22, there's 25, and there's 30 cal. Obviously for the American guys. The barrel length, it's got a 17-inch barrel on it. It is 430mm. They do a 23-inch barrel as well, and also a 28 for the FAC guys. The overall length is about 980 from muzzle to butt, and it's weighing in at about 2.9 kilogram. So it's not the lightest rifle, which I've also found out, which I've had out in the field last week. Well, sorry, not last week. Early in the week to have a quick look around with it, see what it's like in the field. I've also shot it on the course at Camelots, did a few shots about that as well. This air cylinder is 300cc, so it's quite a big boy. And they do a carbon bottle version at 480cc. And I believe also they do a 580cc for, like I said, the FAC guys again. It's got a 250 bar fill. It's got Huma air regulated fitted to it, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong on that, but I'm sure it's Huma air. This 177 version comes with a 13-shot open window magazine, which is Daystate's own brand. Your 22 is 11, and obviously your 25 is 10, and your 30 cal's 8. It's got a reversible cocking lever on the other side. Which is there, and it's oversized, nice biathlon style, so you can cock that and you're not going to miss it either way. It's quite nice as well. The trigger is a match grade adjustable trigger, which is obviously here, which is like what they use on the Wolverine and all the rest of it. So we'll start back at obviously the end of the stock and we'll work our way forward from it as well. So it's got a nice walnut Manelli stock on this, and it's a lot like the a Red Wolf stock. It's got an adjustable butt pad there. It's plastic, but it's got rubber bits on at the end. It's got a nice rubberized adjustable cheek piece there. Moving forward, it's got a really nice palm grip, which obviously for your fingers as well, so you wrap your fingers around. Up just above that is an adjustable power wheel with 20 different settings. This one obviously is on max at the minute, and it does actually work, guys. It goes right down to about 7 foot-pound. The safety catch is obviously on the other side, and that's tactical style. It's a flick switch down like that and flick back up. I'll fling that round in a minute, but this is reversible as well. It's always better if you're right-handed shooter to have it on the left-hand side, so you're not sitting in the way with your trigger finger. It's got a nice Picatinny rail on to mount your scopes on, which is obviously here. It's not dovetail, they've gone for the Picatinny on this. It's got dual gauge on it, so basically you've got your fill pressure there, and then you've also got your reg pressure there. It is Huma regulator, guys, so yeah, I was right. The barrel is fully shrouded, which is there, and it's got a 1/2-inch UNF thread on the end to fit the silencer. Now this is a 0 dB silencer, the smaller one of the two, which I found to obviously work really well. Because it's a modular design, you can change this from cylinder to bottle as well. So this plastic bit of the gun here, this comes off and you can fit a bottle to it if you want to. It basically unscrews from the back and you can buy a bottle and change it backwards and forwards and stuff. And I'm not going to explain how to do it because I'd end up reading off the instruction manual to you as well, which it's not really here to do. You can change it from the carbon stock, the laminate stock, the tactical stock, and there's a walnut stock, which, like I said, we've got the walnut on here. And you can also interchange the barrel at 12 foot-pound. You can change it from a 2.2 to a 1.77, which is pretty neat as well. The one thing I've noticed, it's got a floating hammer spring, a bit like the Brocock Ghost, or the BRK Ghost, should I say, which that takes a little bit getting used to because like the FXs have them as well, and it's kind of, you think, oh god, what's that inside? Is it broke? But no, it's just a floating hammer. That said, it is a nice gun. It's a very beautiful looking gun. I really think this one's very nice looking, to be fair. We're going to put it out at 30 yards now. I'm going to try 4 different types of pellets today, just because I want to see what kind of grouping we get. There is a very quite sharp left to right wind, so I'll just aim at the targets and we'll see what kind of grouping we get. But it might not be as good as what the full potential of this gun is, because like I said, it's a windy day today. Once we've done that, we'll get the chrono out, we'll give it a good chrono, and then I'll talk about some of the negatives that I found while out hunting with it, because I don't quite know where it sits, the Black Wolf, to be honest. If it's a bench rest, if it's a hunting, if it's an FT. I mean, it is fully adjustable. You know, it's got that many things you can change on it. You can use it for anything. But I'll tell you my personal preference of what I like in a hunting rifle. Not saying that I don't like it, but I'm just saying my personal preference. But yeah, let's spin it around, let's load her up and give her a go. Right, so the Black Wolf's magazine is the Daystate's own window system magazine. It's a bit different to the ones. It's got the bull bearing on the back, which I think is like the Ghost again. So we'll fill 5 shots up and we'll use Barrett 8s first. And we'll see what kind of grouping we get. Now it is, like I said, very windy. I've had a couple of practice shots already and we're going quite to the right, but I've still got a group, which I was quite chuffed about. So we'll do that. And we'll see what grouping we get. Tell you what, we'll go 6 shots. So Barrett 8s first, 8.44 grain. So left to right loading, it just slots home like that. Right, let's see. I might allow for the wind actually. It's about a mil dot across, so let's see. Well, it's more than a mil dot in fact, but I'll do the same as what I've done now. Right, so that's 6 with the Barrett 8. Now for the QYS, these are the Streamline 844s again. My hands are absolutely freezing, I'm not going to lie. I'm going to definitely do another accuracy test also on a different day, because I think this rifle deserves it. So, Streamline 844s. Six shots again. think that's them. Yep. Now the exacts. These are 844s as well. These are what I tested with a minute ago. Seem to like these. That's the exacts. 2 more to go then, guys. We've got the Byrack FT Specials, which is basically the field and target trophies from H&N. Try 6 on these. These ones are quite loose in the magazine as well. Oh, we've got a bit of sun coming out. Right, so these are 864, so these are tiny little bit heavier actually to a smaller pellet. See how we do with these. Field target trophies, find them. Oh, wind's taking these. Not even at the target, but she's grouping. Six for them, and now the last one, we'll go for the Rangemaster Sovereigns, which is obviously Daystate's own, or a brand of JSBs. These are quite tight fitting in the mag. These are 844 grain again. Try out these. Right, I'm going to go at the bottom one because I've already fired at the top sovereign one. Right, so that's it. That's all 5 pellets done. Let's go and get the card in and we'll have a quick look at it. Right, so, like I said, it is very windy. Very, like, the flags are horizontal pretty much. So you're not going to get a really true accuracy test on the art today, which is why I will do a part 2 of this with this gun. But, I mean, them JSBs there, that's in the wind. Yeah, I've got one flyer there, but that's obviously under a thumbhole, that. QIS, no. That was my first grouping with sovereigns and my second grouping with sovereigns, so but they are pretty much the same pellet. Doesn't like buy rates, doesn't like field and target trophies, and doesn't like QIS. But that could be the wind as well, which I'm gonna do another accuracy test again at 30 yard with the same things when it's a less windy day. But I just wanted to give you a bit of a understanding of what it's capable of. So what we'll do now is I'll quickly let the chrono out, we'll chrono her, and then we will do the verdict. So I'm going to put over the chrono now. I've loaded about 8 pellets up into the magazine of the sovereigns because we've got the best grouping of the sovereigns. And my first shot I've just had were 10.8 foot-pounds, 761 feet per second. So we'll have a few more shots and see what we get. Same. Don't know if it read it then. .9, 766. 10.7, 759. 10.9. 10.9. And that's it. So yeah, it is that Huma regulator is very consistent. Looking at that, you know, there's what, a few feet per second, couple of 0.2 of a foot-pound. So yeah, it's a very obviously consistent gun. That would be obviously to do with the accuracy as well. This was on power level set in 20, so that's the max as well of what it does. Could do a bit of tweaking to get it up to about 11.5, and there is ways to do that. I believe you can do that yourself, set the reg pressure and different bits and bobs. But might even be better with a little bit of a heavy pellet as well. I'll try a 9-grain pellet through it and see what results we get from that in another day. But yeah, you can see why it's accurate, because obviously that Huma reg's consistently, we're delivering the same power nearly all the time. So what we'll do now is we'll get into conclusion. So my verdict for the Daystate Black Wolf is very good looking gun, very, very adaptable. You can pretty much change this gun in 1,000,001 ways, which if you like that and you're that way inclined, then that's great. Me personally, remember this is me personally. If I want a gun and I like the look of the gun because I want it for a certain reason, I go and buy it specifically for that. I do not get one that's adaptable because I like the look of it. A bit like a, you know, if I want a HW100 for rabbiting or whatever, you know, I buy that for that. I do a lot of hunting. As I said, I don't quite know where this gun sits. It's quite heavy to be a hunting rifle, and it's also quite long to be a hunting rifle. It reminds me of a Ripley, the length of it, to be fair. I prefer a compact shorter rifle when I'm out hunting. I don't know why, I just do. I like, not the bullpups, but obviously something along the lines of a ultimate sport length or a core, S510 core. I cannot fault the actual accuracy of this gun though. If you're laid down and you're sniping rabbits off from a, you know, from a warren, then you're going to want to use this because it's stacking pellet on pellet, and I mean stacking pellet on pellet on a better day. I've used it a few times, and also the only other thing I forgot to mention is the M locks here, so you can fit a bipod. You can put some pick rail on that and fit a bipod as well. Like I said, it's a very, very accurate gun, and if you want accuracy, this is what you want. The floating hammer gets used to it. I don't know if you can hear that through my mic. That's like the FXs, but that, you know, I'm used to that already, so it doesn't really bother me. The stock could be a bit like, I prefer shooting thumbs up as well, but you know, that's just me. Don't really affect, you know, it's not really, don't affect other shooters, I suppose. And it could do a bit more meat around here because I think some of them might get broke eventually, but who knows. But it's going to get an 8.5 from me. I'm going to take it hunting, and we're going to try it out in the field and do some proper hunting with it, get some rabbits, some squirrels. You know, I'm going to use it for quite a while. I've got it for quite a bit, this one. So yeah, what else can I say? Daystate, you've done a great job. You've made the most adaptable gun in the world and the most probably accurate gun in the world, to be fair. Is it worth the money? Maybe, maybe not. Depends if you're a Daystate fan or not. Me personally, I'm a Daystate fan. But is it worth 2,250 for this particular model? I don't know. It's basically, you know, I wouldn't want to catch it going through a fence or something like that. It'd gut me. It'd be very upsetting. But yeah, I don't really know what more I can say. You'll see me next out in the field with it in a couple of weeks' time, hopefully. Try it on the squirrels, try it on the rabbits. But other than that, guys, thank you very much for watching this episode of the Daystate Black Wolf. Thanks to Richard Moore Edges for obviously supplying and getting me this to review, and also Thanks to the other main sponsors, Night Hunting Wear, which I believe we're getting a nice package off them next week as well, of all their new clothing brand. So look forward to that as well, guys. But thanks again once again, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.